Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel called Demon Story Time. Thank you so much for coming, for your likes, for your comments, for your donations. All information for donation you can find down below in comment. I'm so excited today because I received my donations. Thank you, bestie, so much. This lovely book called Sacred Pathways, and this lovely book she gave me earlier called Irish Fairy Tales. So excited. Thank you so much. Today I got this huge book called Grimm's Fairy Tales. Miles Kelly. Hope you can see everything. And you can see this lovely drawing. Our story, what do you see here? First published in 2014 by Miles Kelly Publishing Ltd. Contains the Brothers Grimm 10 spells and enchantments. The Frog Prince, the Fisherman and his Wife, the Queen Bee, the Glass Coffin, the Magic Porridge Pot, the Donkey, that would be interesting, the Hut in the Forest, the Singing Soaring Lark, the Crystal Ball, Sleeping Beauty again, Brave Boys Spoil Girls, ha ha ha, Little Red Riding Hood, the Golden Bird, the 12 Huntsmen, Snow White and Rose Red, Three Spinners, the Water of Life, the Rabbit Sprite, Tom Tomb, the Iron Stove, the 12 Dancing Princesses, Fairy Folk, Rumpelstiltskin again, the Water Nymphs, the Young Giant, the Elves and the Showmaker, Mother Holly, the Spirit in the Bottle, the Gnome, the Little Folks Presents, the Next of the Millponds, the Golden Goose, Wicked Witches, Rapunzel, the Goose Girl at the Well, the Lambkin and the Little Fish, the Six Swans, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Jorinda and Joringo. That's funny, I'm sorry. The Golden Children, the Old Woman in the Wood, Foundling, Hansel and Gretel again. Yeah, they'll be repeating the story, but okay. Happy Ever After, Cinderella, the Bremen Town Musicians, King Thrushbeard, what the heck? The Valiant Little Tailor, the Spindle, the Shuttle and the Needle, the Wolf and the Seven Little Kids, the Goose Girl, Iron John, the Poor Miller's Boy and the Cat, the Star Money, Oh yes. The brothers Grimm. Here they are. I hope you can see something. Yeah. Once upon a time, over 200 years ago, there lived in Germany two brothers called Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. They were best friends and grew up to work together, first studying law, but then becoming librarians and then university professors. The brothers had a passion for fairy tales and folk tales, the kind that grandparents and parents had passed down to their children through generations for hundreds of years. The stories were often magical, sometimes cruel, but always gripping. I just don't want to do. The Grimm brothers wrote them down and published over 200 of them in a book. Since then, the stories have been told in many ways in many languages. Some have become movies, plays, and ballads. Here are 50 favorites retold for young children.
100 Christmas.
Here is the lovely drawing you can see.
Christmas.
Spells and enchantments. The Frog Prince, the Fisherman and his wife, the Queen Bee, the Glass Coffin, the Magic Porridge Pot, the Donkey, the Hut in the Forest, Hut, the Singing Soaring Lark, the Crystal Ball, Sleeping Beauty. And our story will be called today The Frog Prince. Long ago, there lived a king who had 3 daughters. The young women were all lovely, and many princes came to seek their hands in marriage, but everyone agreed that the youngest princess was loveliest of all. Near the royal family's castle there was a shady wood. In summer the youngest princess liked nothing better than to walk through the wood to a well. There she would stay, playing with a golden ball she often carried, admiring it in the double light. One hot day, the princess was doing just that when her ball suddenly slipped through her fingers. It hit the ground and bounced up over the edge of the well, dropping into the water with a splash. The princess peered down inside the well, but she could see nothing but darkness. She sank down onto the mossy ground and started to cry. "Oh, don't upset yourself," said a croaky voice. "I can get your ball back." The princess looked up, startled. There was no one around except for a plump frog squatting on the edge of the well. "Really?" she gasped, brightening. "Yes, of course." This reassured the frog. "But what will you give me if I do?" Tricky frog. "Oh, anything," gushed the delighted girl. "My silver shoes, my golden purse, even my diamond tiara." "No, no," gulped the frog. "What would I do with those?" Just promise that we will be best friends. His bulging eyes grow soft. I want to be with you all day, every day. I want to eat with you off your golden plate and sleep in your comfy bed. What fun we will have together. So weird frog paw. Yes, agreed the princess hurriedly, for she was longing to get her precious possession back. I promise you can have all that if you bring me my golden ball. The frog's wide mouth smiled even wider and he plopped gleefully into the well. After only a minute or two, he reappeared holding the golden ball. The princess was thrilled. She scooped it up and raced away back through the woods. Here is the princess and a frog. Wait, called the frog, leaping after her. Pick me up. I cannot go as fast as you. But in her joy, the king's daughter had forgotten all about her helper. She dashed on home to the castle and the poor frog was left far behind. That evening, when the princess and the king were eating dinner, there came a noise of something flopping wetly up the castle's staircase. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Then there was a knocking at the door of the great hall, and a voice cried, "Youngest princess, please let me in." Curious, the princess went to see who it could be. But when she opened the door and saw the frog sitting there, she slammed it shut at once. Horrified, she sat back down without saying a word. The king noticed that his daughter was trembling and asked, "Whatever has frightened you? Has a giant come to carry you away?" And he chuckled fondly. But the princess grew pale. "It's not giant," she said in a very small voice. "It's a horrid frog." And she explained what had happened to the day before. Then the knocking began again, and the frog's voice said, "Youngest princess, let me in. I want what you promised me." Annoying frog. The king looked grave. "You made a promise, and you must keep it, huh?" he said firmly. The youngest princess stood slowly, took a deep breath, and went to let the frog in. Yeah. Here's the princess and her dog. The frog hopped at her heels back to her chair. "Lift me up so I can sit with you," he croaked. The princess turned away in disgust, but the king insisted that she do as the frog had asked. Once the frog was on the table next to the princess, he said, "Now push those golden plates a little nearer, so that we may eat together." And the princess had to obey. When the frog's tummy was full, he gave a yawn. "Delicious," he said. "But how I'm tired. Let's go to bed." What the heck? Then the princess hung her head and began to weep, but the king gave her a stern look. So she picked up the slimy creature with just her finger and thumb and held him out away from her. She carried him upstairs to her bedroom and dropped him in a corner before quickly jumping into bed and drawing the covers over her head. Then the frog came hopping up to her bedside, croaking, "Let me snuggle in too, or I will tell your father." What? The princess grounded. She threw back the quilt and let the frog leap onto the mattress alongside her, but at the touch of his cold damp skin she grew angry. "That's enough!" she yelled, and she seized the frog and tossed him away. As he fell, something very strange happened. The frog began to blur and change and grow. And then, to the princess's astonishment, a handsome prince with the kindest face she had ever seen was suddenly standing in front of her. The prince smiled and gently explained how a wicked witch had enchanted him. The princess was the only one who could save him, and by carrying out her promise, she had broken the spell. The prince kneeled before the princess in thanks, and as they gazed into each other's eyes, they fell deeply in love. Of course, the king was delighted and gave his permission for the joyful couple to get married. And it wasn't long before they set off to the princess's kingdom in a golden carriage, drawn by 8 white horses, with crowds of well-wishers cheering them along the way. So that's the story, my dears. See you next time. Bye.